real estate agent here at Keller Williams. I've been here 2.5 years. I came over, so 14.5 years is how long I've been in the business. And like you might have mentioned when you're coming in, I said I was a teacher. Previously to that, I taught for 15 years, so that's why you kind of see my teacher set up in a way. I'm going to show you a few things today. This class is called Ignite. Fuel Up to Ignite. So they don't necessarily, Keller Williams doesn't necessarily have a regimented presentation. But here at Keller Williams Integrity First, we want to get you ready and set the expectations of what's going to happen in the next month. Because it's going to be demanding. We're going to ask you to commit to some activities, especially things that you might not be comfortable doing. And your significant other spouses need to know what's going on as well. So we're going to talk about those things that are going to be expected of you. Before I do get into the nuts and bolts of the class or of this presentation and getting you ready for Ignite, which starts Monday, we're going to present John from Checklist Inspections. And these are probably the most important people you're going to need in your transactions, whether you're a buyer or a seller. If you know of checklist inspections and you're the seller, you're going to go, yes. You're going to feel like, whew, good. And if you're on the buyer side, you're going to go, yeah, checklist. All right, so he's going to tell you things that you want to know and things that are important as a new agent or a seasoned agent. So, John, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Before we even start, we as a company, we're our 28th year in business, coming up on my 20th anniversary that we've been in for checklist inspections. And we're a multi-inspector for based out of here in the East Valley, do Maricopa County, Pinell County. So, in fact, if you're out in this way, you can't help but hit Pinell County. You know, if you just take a wrong turn off a road. So, one thing about us, we actually do a lot with Keller Williams offices in general. As you were mentioning, you see me up at Bold. I think I've done 9 bolds and gone through. And Bold Falls coming up, you guys should think about doing Bold. So we actually, even as a company, our structure has a lot of similarities with Keller Williams on both how we run our values, how we handle clients, how we do those things. What I really want to actually go through is this amazing little blue folder for you. There's a couple things I want to point out. A couple things in here experienced agents don't know. Okay? You're going to have the brochure, the rack card, a scratch-off card for a discount, but right below those things is a little half sheet on what's called the SLIP program in the city of Tempe. Tempe's the only city that has this program. They also have, Tempe has the highest rate of sewer line problems, okay, around. And so they did, because of so much they were having, they actually created, through the city, an insurance program. So if you have a client, okay, that is looking at buying in Tempe, to make sure they know about the SLIP program. And all it is an extra $12 on your water sewer bill, okay, water sewer trash actually. But as it goes through, and up to $5 grand, your homeowner's insurance doesn't do anything outside your house. 2 feet outside your front door, they don't care. It's only under that roof, okay? So if your water main breaks between the meter and the house, that is on the homeowner with no insurance. If it goes under the slab, that's homeowner's insurance. But that distance in between, the SLIP program will handle, including, there's a few other insurances that will cover it as an add-on, but they will not cover any landscape. They will only cover the repair. Yes?
Would a home warranty cover that?
No, home warranties do not cover that. There's a couple that have it as an add-on, but that's it. A home warranty covers the house. You better make sure in your home warranty, if you have a detached casita with an air conditioner, even if you're paying for the extra air conditioners on your home warranty, it is not part of the main house, they won't cover it. You gotta get into, some of these home warranties have vast amounts of trying to wiggle out. Now, I'm gonna help you with your clients for any home warranty issue you ever have, okay? I'll use a Fidelity, Old Republic, 210, it does not matter, okay? Your client You tell your clients, you ever have an issue with the home warranty, you call me, because your job, don't fight with the home warranty. Call the rep. In fact, up there I see reps, their cards. That rep through the office can get a lot of things pushed through that your client won't be able to or anything else, especially with offices that give them a good amount of business, they can push it through. So the home warranty companies that do a lot within here are the ones you want to use, because even if it's your first deal and you don't have that sort of pull, you have an office that has pull, Klaus team alone, that's a huge amount for somebody. They don't want to make that office very upset. That makes sense? Okay. So that slip program, really be aware. We instruct a lot of agents on this because they don't even know when they're up there. Guys, get that slip program. The other is they don't want certain conditions on it. So it's a good idea to get a scope beforehand. So you get that sewer line scope. The city has been known to pull pre-existing. When's the last time anything's been done with it? And people were signing up and they already lived there 10 years and they happen to have something within the first 6 months as a problem. Get it scoped and you just know you got a clean bill of health, anything goes on. But they use a couple different pipings there that we don't use anymore. There was only about a decade, 15 years that we were using it, that had a higher rate of failure. Like some of our cities wouldn't allow it until we did. Something like, it's called Orangeburg. There's a few others out there. And then a little bit, we're gonna skip a page. The next thing for you need to know is a pre-closing checklist. We can talk about what a home inspector does, it doesn't do, but this is so important for you and your clients. About 3 days before that closing, when you go around that house, especially an occupied home, and they move that picture, and there's a giant hole in it, okay, or any other issue, that is that seller's house still. But go through, too many times people just sort of run through and go, yeah, they moved everything and walk on, and didn't notice, oh, the landscaper busted a window with a rock went through his mower. Pay attention to those things. You don't want to find that out the day you're actually moving in and your client owns the home, where 3 days later the seller owned the home. And then towards the back, I write some articles for Real Producer Magazine. This will help you out really on both sides, but any of your buyers. You want your home inspection to go better, have the house prep for a home inspection as well. And do some small things. It's really when we have to focus on a bunch of little stuff. Now we carry some light bulbs in our car, but I got maybe 8 light bulbs. I've been to houses where there's 20 and burned out. I've had with the clients over 20 years, you get the one go, well, you sure, that's a lot of bulbs. You sure it's not electrical? Well, we'll go around and pop a few, but you want to focus up on things, okay? If there's any receipts that they've had the AC service in the last 6 months even to a year, leave those out on the counter for the inspector, because I'll tell you what, your client had it serviced 6 weeks ago. It's very awkward for a home inspector to start writing up all these problems when an AC guy just said clean bill of health. And it makes everyone feel comfortable, believe it or not. Hey, I had roof work 18 months ago, not a problem, 20-year-old house, you're gonna have a leak. Leaving that receipt out, just for the buyer, let alone even the home. Oh, because the home inspector may go, hey, there's obvious repair, you better figure out what's going on. But if he sees the receipt, obvious repair, oh, that's exactly where the repairs were, it looks good. And that's how it ends up getting written up that way. And now, do you want to sell your homes faster? You're going to have listed, especially that vacant home, and you're going to have to fight sometimes with your buyers. Keep the AC down, okay? Keep it even at 80. We've gone into homes that are 100 degrees this time of year. I can have that AC on for 3 hours. We're barely hitting 92. AC's running great. No one expects a 100-degree inside house to be down to 70 degrees in an hour or two, right? But clients will walk in to a house that's hot. They're expecting to cool off, and they walk in, and they go, man, that AC must not be working good. Well, they didn't know how hot it was when we came in. Now all of a sudden you just put a negative in their head, right? And now the home inspector's got to fight and argue trying to extra explain why the AC is actually even good. Now it puts everything in doubt, right? You want people to feel good about what they're going through, and that's one of the reasons of doing this up. And then, so we even put a list to help out your seller. It's up on the back of this, just to make sure, hey, have access to the attic, have things that's going on. If your client is in out of town, you have up in Sun Lakes or right south or northwest Leisure World, See if they keep keys in the house to back the garage out of the attic so we can access, or the car out of the garage so we can access an attic. Just look around and make sure of those things. And it's not bad for clients in the here all the time to double check your utilities, because it's amazing, because you as the listing side are responsible, and no one likes it when the home inspector, the buyers, and your buyer, you want the home inspector back out to retest the electric or the gas or anything else, we got to charge. So just double check. It's amazing how many realtors end up paying it out because they either drove by the house, triple checked with that. You know, it's amazing how many sellers just say, oh yeah, it's all on, and things are off as they're going through. These things will actually improve and make your job easier. And I'm going to give you one last. The front of us cover has a business card with an email address. I know you guys are newer agents. You've already just got done studying a ton of stuff. If you email the office, okay, and ask for the standards of practice of what home inspectors do by the state, I will send you the links. Okay, there's actually 5 of them, including one's a glossary. Okay, because the state defines what the word observe is, and the state defines what the word describe is, and it's not near as detailed as you think. We're a little different as a company. We do the things we are required to do. Home inspectors aren't required to even acknowledge you have irrigation, sprinklers on your house. We do it. They aren't required to do a backyard barbecue. We do it. They aren't required to do any ground lights. We do it. They aren't required to walk a roof. We do it. So, but you want to know both what the minimum is, because we've even had teams call it, they didn't do X, Y, and Z, and because they're used to us, and I'm like, yeah, they're not required to do a lot of these things. So you want a company that ends up doing those things also for you. But if you email us out, we'll send it to you. It's just the links to because we're not licensed with the realtors. We have our own group with the architects and engineers. It's called the Bureau of Technical Registration. We can send you those, and you'll always have them handy. And just keep those, because if you ever hear someone else say, well, they have to do this or they don't have to do that, you can go look it up yourself. Just double check and make sure, and you're going to seem a lot more knowledgeable. By the way, the realtors that we've had the SLIP program, you want to seem really knowledgeable. Since 90% of realtors don't even know about it, you've got a client in Tempe, and you're able to drop that piece of everyone. The homeowner, the seller, he didn't even know it existed. He lived in Tempe the last 20 years. And they're all this, you would just knock it out of the park. So, if you do have any buyers, and you need a great home inspection, we do our own termite inspections internal. We can do molds and radons or anything else. And now I'm going to give you, and I'm sorry to take 30 more seconds, the best marketing advice I could ever give you. Second best marketing advice, because the thank you cards are actually the number 1, and that's how I built my business too, was a handwritten note. But the number 2, and I even know a large real estate team, if you wanted to join, they will call and keep calling till they hit your voicemail. And if you don't have a personalized message, they're done talking to you. We have tracked for a while, if you go to our office, I track everything. How many junk calls come in one day to our office, because we've got a big call center. I'm just curious what our numbers are for just about everything. When we call a realtor and their cell phone message is, you've got 480-226, they're always a pain in the butt, and they're not very high production. It's 100% of the time. And the other is, yeah, you need to call John. You dial it up. You have reached John. Did he say Sean? Did he say John? I don't know. Put a personalized message in. Hello, Felicia with Keller Williams Integrity. So sorry you can't get to the phone right now. I was just probably working with a client, closing up another deal, or helping someone out. Please leave your name and message, name and number, and I'll get back to you early to meetings. And if you are a texter and faster, or text for even faster response, whichever. I'm not. You're faster to get a phone message to me than a text. Just the way I am, my brain works. Why type? Because I'm going to call you back. But the point is do that phone message. It just makes everyone's life easier. You are going to have clients that will somehow get your number and not leave you that message because you don't have a phone message. So that would be the second best after a thank you card, which she's going to hit.
Yep.
So, and eat up, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, John. So did you say that Tempe has the number 1?
Yeah, it
Can you
has
say
the
that
most.
again?
Yes. Yeah.
Most problems with sewer?
There's sewer lines from that street to the house.
Okay.
Do you know what years that those were put in?
That is a great question, and the answer is yes. So we're dealing with the early 70s and mid 80s of being some of the worst years. But
That's
they've
when they had the
some-
biggest growth too.
Yes, yeah, and Tempe's been landlocked since mid 80s.
Long time, yeah.
very long time. So, but more important, they're covering even beyond that. But there are some different rules. I mean, go open the website, just become familiar. I jotted a few things that are on, bullet points on that slip. But that's real important to know. And it's not bad for any older house if you start hitting mid-80s older. It's not bad if your client, especially if there's trees out front, just mention it to your client, because then if there's anything in the future, you put out the offer. Don't be the realtor that the client says, can we have a second roof? Because my last house had a lot of roof problems and I feel really comfortable, even though I've had realtors on a 2-year-old house try to talk a client out of spending their own money to make themselves sleep better at night. So if your client says, hey, this is what your client says, well, we had a roof problem on my last house and I just feel better. What the client said, can I spend my own money, personal money, to sleep better tonight? And you said, no, you may not sleep good tonight. Listen to your clients. Because that's really what they're saying when they go, hey, I'm extra concerned about that air conditioner. It's an older thing. Or, I'm moving from Pennsylvania, super high radon out in Pennsylvania. Hey, let's order that up, because you're going to sleep good tonight now. It's not even your money. Your client said, how can I do this, my own money, to sleep good tonight? The answer should always be yes. That's like if a client says, I don't know how to swim, so please don't show me a home with a pool, and you only show holes with pools. Would you do it? Of course not. So listen to your clients. They are telling you things. You just have to know how to listen to what that is.
Exactly.
Yes?
What was the type of piping you mentioned?
Orangeburg.
How do you spell that?
Orange, B-R-U-G.
Okay.
Color orange. It is a compressed cardboard, impregnated basically with asphalt, we say tar.
Wow.
Yes, and so as you can imagine, it had this high rate of problems. We had a few cities that would not allow that even being popped in. If you notice with something else, polybutylene, you can see some cities required only certain areas to even have it, where other cities allowed much more. That's why you have the most in Scottsdale and Phoenix. Because you had a couple of municipalities that were like, we'll allow this, no, only a couple neighborhoods or only in certain locations. So.
Yeah, in my old neighborhood where I lived.
Oh, Judy?
No, I was in Chandler.
Oh, yeah,
and
okay.
Everybody had polybutylene.
Yeah.
One by one.
They were just having problems. Yeah.
Probably learned some invaluable information today. Thank you, John.
Thank you,
Yeah.
John.
And by the way, the piping, cast iron, you should always get scoped too. And it will cover, this slip program for even, things like that.
So you just, the things that, what we do at Keller Williams here, Integrity First, is we want to teach you how you can be and show value to your clients. So did you just gain some value from what he just told you? And if you did, what was it? What was that?
This program.
Yep. Right. So you're the Tempe steward, right? So how many of you before you came in here did not know that Tempe had the worst problems? I didn't. I've been doing this 14 and a half years. How many?
27 years.
27 years, okay? So when you have a client and you're out, let's say you're in Gilbert, right? And you're showing a property and you go, we always recommend that you have the sewer, it's gonna be on your contract. There's a lot of things I'm gonna go over today that are gonna go, whoa, I don't understand that. It'll all come together by the end of Ignite. If there are questions that don't get answered today, you have me, you have Susie, you have the agent, leadership agent council, ALC, agent leadership council. You've got our brokers, okay? And anytime during the class, raise your hand too. I'll try to answer during the class as well. So you're out in Gilbert, you're doing an inspection, or you've got clients and buyers, and you're out, or you're in an appointment and an interview, and they're interviewing you to see if they want you to be their buyer's agent, right? And you can say, well, one thing you can say is, well, one thing I want to make sure that you understand is, I'm going to make sure that you have the best inspections, and that no matter where you buy, you're going to know which areas have the problems with plumbing. And automatically they're going to go, well, wow, I want to know what that is, right? And so when you start telling them that you're going to watch them from beginning of the street all the way to the backyard, back wall of the house, they're gonna feel like, wow, this person really cares about me. Right off the bat, you're showing them value. Now, the one thing I do know is Mesa provides warranties. I get them every single month or 2 months. Do you wanna buy a warranty for your pipes? Because as John said, the pipe from the house to the street is not covered. So I don't have any trees in my front yard, but doesn't mean something could happen. And if I have a warranty through the city of Mesa, they will cover any problems. So if you sell a house in Mesa, that I would advise your client, hey, you know what, you might consider looking in the city of Mesa. They do have warranties of the pipes that lead out to the street, especially if they have a lot of trees, right? We're supposed to point those things out to them. And we're already segueing away from the main point of the class today, but he brought up a lot of good things, and it's very important that you understand this. Every time you tell your client something, follow up with an email. Copy yourself on the email, copy your client on the email, copy your transaction coordinator on the email. Now 3 people have it. You're gonna get your email back. Hey, just wanted to make sure that you understood what I was mentioning today, that if you do end up buying a house in Mesa, they do have warranties. Let's say they're looking in Mesa, right? And I always say, please confirm receipt. And usually people go, oh, thanks, Steph, I appreciate it. Now you know that they've received it, you've had that conversation in person, maybe on the phone, and now you have an email. So always back yourself up. I copy my transaction coordinator on everything. And the other reason I do that is because now they know that I've got a bunch of people looking at it, not just me. And fires can get kind of interesting sometimes. So I have one right now. I'm not going to share that story with you. Okay, so we're going to start with an activity. Well, let's do this first. Okay, Stephanie Strobel was a teacher for 15 years. My husband and I met at ASU. Went to the Navajo Reservation in Chinle, Arizona, and taught school for 6 years. We had our twins out there. They were born in Gallup, New Mexico. When they got to about 3.5, 4.5 years old, we figured, let's go back to the valley. It was very cold up there, by the way. And I always thought, we're going to move back east where my husband's from. He's from southern New Jersey. He said, no way, I don't want to live. I slid on ice once, and I thought, I don't ever want to live where there's ice. So we moved back to the valley, where I was born and raised, right here in Mesa. And I got a job at Mesa Public Schools teaching music, and my husband got a job, and he's actually retiring into this year. He's in real estate school right this minute. Well, not right this minute. He's in school right this minute, but started Monday, and he's going Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So he's really excited about it. Can't wait. So we have twins. They're 20 and 26, and we have an 18-year-old who just graduated from high school. I became a real estate agent because in 2002, 2003, as a teacher, I knew I could not, there's no way I could make any more money as a teacher. I could put in tons of hours and get 0 for it. So I started looking around, and my dad was a police officer, and I thought, I could be a police officer, and I could work overtime, because I know those guys make really good money when they work overtime. And I just love the idea of being a police officer. And then I thought, my husband says, yeah, but you like looking at houses, because I always have real estate magazines and looking at them. And so I thought, maybe I should become a real estate agent. How does that all work? Commissions. So I started adding up commissions, and I realized, wow, I think I'd make more money being a real estate agent. But I'm afraid to do open houses. But I wanted to be a police officer. So I don't know. Somehow I decided real estate was the better way and the safer way, and everybody was happy after that. Kids were happy, husband was happy. So I've been doing it. I taught a couple more years, and then in 2006 went full-time real estate agent. Any of you still working anywhere else right now? Okay. So I worked for 2 more years as a teacher and a real estate agent, and it was during the crazy 04-05 time. And so some days I'd call in sick. I'm not going to begin to teach today. Push my properties. And I just did it. I just knew I had to do it. I couldn't go back. I resigned. I didn't take a year's leave absence. I just resigned because I thought I got to close that and move forward. So have been rather successful as an individual agent. And there's a reason why you guys joined too. So I'm going to just ask you to tell us who you are, maybe something about yourself, family, where you live, and why you became real estate.
My name is Felicia. I just moved here about a year ago from Chicago, and because my husband's still not here, he's in Chicago.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm trying to make some money home, and I got to make some money to put him through college. So
That's some good motivation.
Yeah.
All right, Felicia. Glad you're here.
I got a mic if you please.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay.
think everybody can hear.
Oh, they want it.
We gotta get on the stream, so I'm sorry.
All of that. My name is Tim. I have owned my own businesses for the last 12 years, and I've always thought about real estate, and just decided, screw it, I'm just gonna jump into it.
Awesome.
Here I am.
All right, Tim. Next.
Come on, man, was it?
You gonna walk around?
Yeah.
My name is Rob. I've lived in the Valley since 1995. Bought my first house 3 years ago, just sold it a year ago. Bought a new house. After that experience, I was like, I think I can do this. And then after moving to Eastmark and talking to 5 of my friends to move into Eastmark,
So my name is Laurel, and never mind. And
In law school?
not in law school.
Oh, okay.
Because I got my degree in philosophy of law. I don't know what you do with that unless you go to law school. And so I just kind of decided we want to do it. And my family, like my dad was a mortgage banker, my mom was an interior decorator, and so I just grew up redoing houses all the time, and so that's a really good fit. Real estate.
Awesome. Welcome.
My name is Susie Steinman, and I've been in real estate for 27 years. Hi guys, some of you are going to be working with me. I wanted, kind of like Stephanie, I got to the point where I wanted a career where there was no ceiling on the income I could make, and also on the hours I would work. Because I've had shifts in my life going this long, and there were years where I wanted to be home with my kids. And so real estate has always afforded that opportunity. I could work around my kids' hours. I could volunteer for schools still. I could go on field trips. And now, fast forward, I've been married to my husband for 12 years. He's a minor league manager with the Oakland Athletics. He leaves me for 6 months, and that's tough. And he can't come home. So this affords me the opportunity to go visit him when I can and bring my work with me. So anyway, I love real estate. It never gets tiresome. I just love looking at houses. I love working with people. I just think it's the most exciting career. Doesn't ever get boring. You're always learning stuff. And it's just so gratifying when you make a sale and you make people happy, and it's super exciting.
Hello, my name is Sam Hatch. I lived here for a while, moved to Colorado, opened a few mattress stores, got tired of dealing with with suppliers, and so I closed those stores down and didn't want to go to work for somebody, so I decided real estate was the way to go, so that brought me here.
Welcome. Matt, tell us a little bit about what you do.
I'm Matt. I'm the Director of Agent Services Technology here at Keller Williams. I'm not into real estate, but my dad is, and he always came up to me and asked me questions about, like, how do I do this for my website, or how do I do this? And it led me to gain some skills to be able to help out agents, and I love helping out the real estate agents to be able to have a better way to market themselves, and also be able to be there for them to help them any way that I can. So yeah, that's what I do here. That's awesome.
Yeah, this position actually just started, 2-3 months ago?
I just started a month ago.
A month ago. And we have our team leader, Amanda. Is Amanda in town right now?
She's here.
She's here. And one of the best ideas Amanda has had, we have been talking about it for quite a while, and when she came in, she made it happen. And so that person right there, Matt, should be your best friend. And Susie should be your best friend too, because these two are going to help you with your business. They're going to answer all your questions. And if they're not around, there are other people to help you. But you're not going to go to another company and have people like this there during the day to help you. I would say set an appointment first, because Susie does have a business and Matt has other people.
Yes.
But make an effort to set that time aside, and they will make time to meet with you. Okay? I'm available too if you ever have questions. So please, that's what we're here. That's why I joined Keller Williams. I joined because it says God, family, then business. When I as an agent, I could have gone anywhere. I looked at 100% companies, and two that a friend, they're working with friends. My friend was at one, and I thought, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you one of the reasons. I read the fine print in some of these contracts with other companies, and one said you can't carry a gun. I don't have a gun, okay? But one said you can't carry a gun, and I'm thinking, I'm in a business where it's not always the safest business. It's just the way it is. It's not safe to walk across the street. So I started reading the fine print on many of these contracts, and I thought if I ever did want to have a gun, I'd want to be able to carry it, right? It's my right. So I read the fine print here. I didn't see anything there in the fine print, but what got me here is when I came up and did the tour, I saw God found me in this, and I thought, that's it, that's what I'm supposed to be. I don't care about a cap. The cap is actually the carrot that I need to work to, because that is, it's saying past this. It's actually setting expectations for me. And so I look at it as, if I get there, I know what's beyond it. So you guys know what the cap is, right? Okay. And that's the biggest hurdle people have a hard time getting over. But they don't see that there is nothing like this community here that's here to help you. So with that, we kind of know a little bit more about each other. We're going to get to know a little bit more about each other because we're going to do a little activity. And, okay, some of you said you got into business for certain reasons, right? And I'm sure once you fulfill those reasons, there's probably a lot of other things you'd like to do. Like maybe buying your house, new car, travel, save money, pay for college. So we're going to do a quick activity. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. And I'm just going to, I just go down with this. 5 minutes to write down 100 things that you would like to do in real estate by being a real estate agent and making lots of money. Okay, 100 things. And some of you are thinking, oh, that's easy. We'll see.
100?
100. And you flip that over. There's 100 lines on there. Ready, set, go. It could be anything, paying off debt, whatever it is. There's no limit. Kid, you probably could come up with 100 things. Think like a kid. it for me? It's called Gary in a Box, and just put it like kind of, I can put it over there. Yeah. And that's gonna be that one that we're gonna listen to a little bit later. All right, everybody, finish up the last thought or idea that you have. I just got goosebumps looking at Susie's. She's finished the whole side. That's, Susie, I've never had anybody go that far.
Serious?
I'm serious. Good for you. I'm like, my legs are like, ooh, that's so cool.
End up being in the business for this.
Yeah. I tell you what happens. We get stuck, right? Because there are probably half a dozen things you definitely want to do in real estate. That's why you did it, right? But you really need to go above and beyond what you think you want to do plus what is possible, right? Because we think these are the essentials, but it goes above and beyond the essentials. There are so many things you can do. I mean, it can be helping charities. It could be helping. Maybe you decided one day. I mean, there's a lot of materialistic ideas. Those are great too. There's nothing wrong with those, but I mean, like going to Europe. That is kind of materialistic. I'm going for the first time with my husband. We're going to go to Ireland. My daughter has a job there for 3 months in Dublin, and we're just going to do it. And you know what? For so many, I always thought we don't have the money. We have the money. But I have been caught up in this thing that it has to make sense. I've got to have this, and this stuff, right? So we have to kind of change our thinking, and we almost need to start thinking like children again. You know, children, they see something the first time, like, oh my gosh, and they want to try everything, right? Some things are too dangerous for them. Well, the fact that we have that brain now, we know what's good and bad for us, but, and I should say not but, and we also know that we have all this experience and wisdom, and we know that we can achieve some of those, many of those things, if not all of them. Does anybody want to share anything that they came up with that they didn't really, had never thought about before? But, yeah, wow, I just thought of this. Nothing? Anything they want to share that is important to them they'd like to accomplish?
Put kids through college.
Put kids through college, okay.
My kids.
Inspire my children.
Inspire? Was that?
My kids.
Oh, okay. Well, you could put somebody else, what if he said, you know what?
Put me through college.
There you go. What if he said, you know what, I want to start a scholarship fund. I want to help some child who has the ability, has the desire, but would probably never be able to afford it. They could afford it. They're going to take student loans out, right? And let me tell you right now, my 18-year-old, he would have gone, accepted at this other school. It was very expensive. And I said, Brian, you want to start your life off in debt. Because he wanted to go to this very expensive school. But he would have, think about it. Who wants to start off that way? You could start a scholarship fund. You could, as far as our company is concerned, we have many organizations that help other people. So keep this close to you. I don't know if you have a folder, something you're keeping kind of real estate information and ideas in as time goes on, because you're going to get a lot of stuff in the next couple of weeks. You're going to be somewhere and you're going to think about, oh my gosh, I want to add that to my list. Why didn't I think about it? And make it a goal to try by the end of Ignite, which is the end of the month, right?
Yep.
Try to have it completed. Now what happens is, as time goes on, you're going to, if you keep that list with you at all times, or in close proximity, part of your, wherever you're keeping your daily planner, I know a lot of us have it on our phones and stuff. But as time goes on, you're going to start crossing off some of those things on that list. And then you're going to have to put another one in place of it. So my goal and dream for you is that you get that completed by the end of the Ignite session in the month. And let me know if you were able to cross anything off in that month span of time. Okay? All right, so keep that going. We're going to talk about the 3 ways to get business, okay? Ignite, I'll tell you what Ignite's gonna be about. And all the expectations are gonna happen, but how many of you wanna start making money? Let's say if you could get somebody under contract in the next week or 2 and close them in the next 45 days to 60 days, how many of you would be interested in doing something like that? Okay. Your friends, was it your friends that wanted to move to Eastmark?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think about that. You got them all to move to Eastmark, and I'm gonna say they spent at least 300 or 400,000.
Yeah.
Let's just take the lower number.
The lowest number is,
Or should we take 400?
well, right now, like 400 is.
It is like the minimum, isn't it? Let's say 400. And I'm wishful thinking over here. So 400,000 times 3% is how much commission?
9,000.
$12,000. So 12,000 times 5 transactions is $60,000. If you had your real estate license. How do you feel about that?
It was very depressing, that's why I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, I've taken quite a few people in Eastmark. Yeah. I don't live there, I live not fairly close, but what kills me is when people who I've taken there don't call me and tell me to take somebody else there. I haven't trained them to do that. Do you want to train people to call you? Or do you want them to call you?
Yeah, I want.
Okay, you're gonna have to train them.
Yeah.
I gave you the answer. So, an
Yeah,
answer.
that app that you guys developed has been the greatest tool for doing it. Just having people download it and they're looking at me already. So.
Excellent. It's a tool, right? The thing is, what you're gonna find is we have the tools, the systems, and the models already here for you. There's nothing you have to reinvent. You just kind of make it yours and you focus on the things that you want to focus on. So if you want to focus on your database, which is what we're going to talk a little bit about today, then there are ways to focus on that to get those leads for you, to get those 5 transactions, right? $60,000, oh my gosh, that's incredible. And new builds are easy. Those are so dang easy. Okay, so you're going to get the next one, all right? We're going to teach you how to do that. All right, so we're talking about the 3 ways to get business. The first way is to wait for it, because everybody probably heard that you got your license somehow, maybe one way or the other. And so you just go home and you turn on the television and you sit down and you're on social media and you're saying, I like this, and hey, I like your new house, or hey, and then you think, well, people are just going to call me because you're waiting for it. And then they finally do call you. You can write my notes down?
Yeah.
And they do call you and go, hey, Laurel. Is it Laurel? Yeah, Laurel, right? Yeah, you're really, how you doing? Oh, great, Laurel. Hey, I know you're in real estate, and I wanted to ask you, do you know a good inspector? And you're going to say, well, yeah, why? You getting ready to buy a house? Well, actually, I just put a contract on a house. My husband and I just bought one. And I knew you were a real estate agent, so I thought you might have a good inspector I could use. And it's your sister. Yeah. What? I'm your sister. It happens. Right? It happens. And you're waiting for it thinking people will just call me. They know. I mean, everybody, my husband told everybody at work, and my kids told all their friends and their parents, and they're all going to call me. It may happen, but like the 5 people, you're going to go, whoa, why, if I could have reached out to those people, if I could have trained them to call me. So waiting for it, you're not going to make too much money, okay? The second way of business is buying the business. So you could go on Zillow and you can spend thousands of dollars a month for leads, right? And it does work, but it costs a lot of money, right? How many of you have thousands of dollars to spend every month on marketing right now? How many of you want to start making money with the least amount of money? Okay, you're in the right place then, because we have all the tools, models, and systems, right? The third way is going to get the business, okay? Going to get the business is cheap, doesn't cost a lot of money, and it's very fruitful. Does anybody know how you might go get the business? That's one way. Open houses is, I'd say it's probably, there's a couple other ways that are a little bit more direct, but open houses with some of the things you're gonna do with the open house could get you the business. We'll talk about that. Any others, ideas? Yes. Door to door. So in combination, door knocking, I am a door knocker. I love to door knock. And I get business. And I'm gonna share stories about my door knocking with you. But door knocking in conjunction with your open house, if you're gonna have an open house on Friday, maybe on Tuesday and Wednesday, you're out door knocking, letting everybody know, hey, just wanna let you know, I'm having an open house just for the neighbors from 10 to 11 on Saturday. Or let's just say, yeah, Saturday. I'm gonna have donuts and orange juice just for the neighbors. It's not open to the public. And I want you and your husband to know. So come on down and see me. What, you think you can make it, or whatever your script is. There's all kinds of ways to do that. So that would be going to get the business, your door knocking. But now we're going to say we're going to ask for the business. Okay, so door knocking could be knock on. Hi, this is my name's Stephanie, and we just sold the house down the street, and actually sold in one day. This is a crazy market, and we actually had multiple offers, and so we had 4 offers total. So 3 people didn't get a house. And so I promised them I'd go find them a house like the one we sold. Who do you know in the neighborhood that's looking to sell a house? Because we got 3 buyers I gotta find houses for. Oh, I don't know anybody. Oh, well, I really appreciate it. I love this neighborhood. How long have you lived here? Oh, we just moved here about a year ago. Really? So when do you think you didn't ask, when do you plan on moving? Well, I just said I just moved here a year ago. Well, if it's changed, where would you plan on going? And there's all kinds of scripts. I'm not going to keep going with scripts, but the script would, I'm going to go a little bit further, but not all the way through. If you did have to move, where would you go? Somebody's going to go, well, or you can kind of get their body language, they're not really interested, or they might be interested in talking, and they would say, well, if I could go anywhere, it would be Hawaii. Well, really, how soon do you want to be there? I mean, there's all kinds of ways to talk to people. Sometimes we hear the word scripts and we get scared. Because scripts, they say, I'm not a script person. Because that's like something, that's not me. I want to be me, yes.
I noticed I hate scripts, and I always think something's cheesy or weird, but I noticed most of the scripts that I've read here so far are more like normal conversation.
It's like a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, excellent point. So you can wait for the business, you can buy the business, you can go get it. Door knocking, calling your sphere of influence. You're going to hear lots of different names about the people that you know. Database, sphere of influence, not really prospects. So sphere of influence would also be known as your SOI, your database, people you know. Okay, so we're going and talking to them and telling them about who you are and what you're doing is going to get the business. Door knocking and letting someone know that you just sold the house down the street in one day in multiple offers, that's going to get the business. Who do you know that's thinking of selling their home? And then I sometimes ask again, who do you know that's wanting to buy a house? I understand you don't want to, you just moved here. But if you know anybody else who's thinking of buying. Okay, so anyway, the conversation goes on, and I'm going to jump around a little bit. That person that you met that said they just moved here, they're not going to sell their house, guess what? If you stay in touch with them, and they have to sell their house, they'll call you. Quick example, I door knocked on this gentleman's house, he says, well, we just moved here, I'm not going anywhere. And I said, well, if you do, remember to call me. I'll be back around in a couple months to see how you're doing. So I came back a couple months later, and he was out watering the yard, and he said, oh, I'm not going anywhere, I remember you were knocking, blah, blah, blah. About a year later, he calls me, and he says, because the reason he called me is because every time I would talk to him, I'd send him a thank you card. I said, thanks for taking time to talk to me. So he calls me about a year later, so I door knocked on his house for 2 years. And he says, you're never going to believe this, we're getting transferred to Florida. He was never going to move. But he did, and I sold his house. Right? So I stayed in touch with him. Another gentleman that I door knocked on for a couple of times, probably 2 years in a row, about the same time. The third time I talked to him, he said, you know what? We are actually thinking of selling our house, and my daughter is too. I got 2 listings on that door knock in 2 years. Okay, I didn't get them right away. Hey. But the idea is continue to put things in the funnel, right? Continue to build that because it's going to come around. I would send them thank you cards. They would keep my information. Another time I door knocked, a guy said, you know what? We're renting. Who's the best company, right? We're renting. Really? When is your lease in? Well, it's not. It's going to end in a couple months. We're probably just going to renew this lease. Well, how come we're not going to buy it? The rates are so low right now. Well, we had a short sale, and we're just not going to qualify. I say, you know what? A lot of people I talk to, door knocking, think the same thing. They're in the same boat you are in, and they actually talked to my lender and found out they could qualify. I said, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll give me his name and number. He called him. He got qualified. They wanted to go look at new builds. I took them down the street to one new build, and they found a spec home they loved, and they bought it. It was about $350,000. So I door knocked for an hour and a half. We went to the new build and spent an hour looking at the house, came back another hour and wrote a contract. So in 3.5 hours, I made a $9,000 commission. That was right then and there. It happened right then and there. They didn't wait 2 years. Their lease was up. So one thing I would say about number 3, going to get the business, make your neighborhood your farm. Start there. My neighborhood is my farm. I just door knocked the other day and it was hot. It was hot, but people remember that you're out there door knocking. And I could only go for really 45 minutes. I could have gone longer. I was with somebody that was showing how to door knock. She couldn't keep up, so we stopped. So going to get the business, door knocking. All right, that's one way to add. Let's say I've coached many agents that say, well, I just moved here, right? I don't know anybody. You door knock, you'll meet people. When I moved into my neighborhood 4 years ago, my door knocking script was, hi, I'm Stephanie, I'm your new neighbor, and I just bought the house down there on Jacob Avenue, and I paid $252,000 for it. I told them what I paid, and it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath pool with a 3-car garage, and I just love my house, and I just wanted to introduce myself and let you know that I'm a real estate agent, and I'm not far away if you ever need anything. And I left them a little flyer and information. So one thing I do when I door knock is I leave flyers, because sometimes people don't want to answer their doors. This is what they do. They look out the little thing, and then they don't answer the door. It's okay. I don't mind. I'll leave a flyer at the door. My first listing door knocking happened this way. I was out door knocking. Actually, the first time I went door knocking, because all of you are going, door knocking, I practiced my scripts. I met one of my friends, real estate agent, over at Starbucks, and we practiced. And we didn't have our script memorized. And I said, let's just go do this. So we went door knocking. We went to the first door. And I'm thinking, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer. And they didn't answer. Okay, so, and I even have my script there with me, just in case I messed up, right? Went to the next house, left the flyer in the door, went to the next house, and, same prayer, please don't answer. They answered, and I just totally plugged it up, and they said, no, thank you, and shut the door. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even say my script. But what the instructor had taught us was, it's not going to be perfect. If you wait to be perfect, someone else is going to sell their house. Someone else is going to get ahead of you. So they're going to call somebody else. But if you're the person at the door at the time, I've had people, I've knocked on the door. I remember another story, I had about 5 more houses to go. It was okay, it wasn't too hot, but it was, I was done, I'd been door knocking for 2 hours. And I had 5 houses left. I thought, I could see my car. I could just cut this way, go to my car, I have 5 more, and I'll just do it. I went 2 houses, and then the 3rd house, the guy says, and this has happened twice to me, the guy says, honey, oh my gosh, there's a real estate agent at our front door. You were just talking about selling our house. I said, I know, I heard you. Here I am. Some people, actually it happened 3 times. So I would say, I jump right into my script. You know what? I'm out here door knocking. I'm glad I talked to you. I can come back tomorrow at 2 or 4 o'clock. Which one works best for you? I don't know, honey. She can come tomorrow at 4. What do you think? Well, I guess have her come at 4. So I made my appointment. I called him that night. Got him this. Okay. There's a lot more involved with it, but it happens and it works. And so if you can become if you can farm your neighborhood, they will start calling you the expert. Because people would say, one of the areas of the farm, they'd say, I was told you're the neighborhood expert. Thinking, who's telling me that? I'm great. I never called myself the expert, but because of my door knocking, because of leaving flyers, and I got away from the first story. The first listing I had was, so my friend and I went door knocked, nothing happened. We write down names and phone numbers, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. Try to get their information. The second day she came with me, and the 3rd day she pooped out. I thought, God, do it. I'm dedicated to doing store knocking. I've got to keep going with it. I wrote down a few names and numbers on the third day by myself, out door knocking. Came home, sat down. I was writing my thank you cards to the people that I did meet, because I write down their names and their addresses, and if I could get phone numbers and stuff, great. And I was, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me today. I appreciate your hospitality. Should you know anybody that needs help here or across the country, please call me. I promise I'll take great care of them. Why did I say or across the country? Get a referral fee, right? I promise I'll take great care of them. Regards, Stephanie. And I put my card in the mail and send it off. So I get home, sitting at the table at home, and all of a sudden I get this text. Did you leave this flyer on my front door? Oh no, I can't do door knocking anymore. Yes, I did. And she said, did this house sell down the street for this amount? Because my flyer, I had a short sale I had in the neighborhood, but I had put down some other recently sold properties. And even though they weren't my listings, I could still put them on the flyer because it's public information. And so the house that she was talking about was the same model as her house. And she said, did this house sell? She didn't say, ask me if I sold it. Did this house sell for this amount? And I said, yeah, it actually did. She goes, we have the same size house and we want to sell our house. And I said, great, I have appointments available tomorrow at 2 or 4. Which one works best for you? And she said, 4 o'clock. We made an appointment with a taxi. She goes, I'm sorry I didn't answer the door. I just got back from the dentist office and I couldn't talk. She was apologetic to me for not answering the door. So I went over, followed my scripts, because I had just gone through door knocking scripts class and presentations, listing presentations, and I got the listing. So it happens. It really, and it works. And you know what? I spent maybe $10 on flyers. And her house was probably $275, $279. And that was probably back in 2011, 2012 I started going up. And I had told myself during the short sale part of the craziness, short sale bank-owned property part, I told myself I should be out there going out and talking to people. They need help, they need people. Some of them are afraid to talk. And I never did it, and I could kick myself over and over again for not door knocking during that era. What was I thinking? Everybody needed help with it. Yeah. And I didn't do it. So I learned my lesson, and I door knock regardless of the market, because people still need to buy and sell. Okay. So that was my going to get the business. Okay. Wait for it, buy it, or go get it. I like the go get it part. So let's say you're going to go out door knocking, and well, let's look at this. I'm going to give you all a little script that I just made with Deb. It's not probably, there might be some errors in it, you can always fix it. But I whipped this up because I've kind of been using it a little bit. And then we'll take a little break. I've got one already. Anybody need snacks, bagels, water, yogurts?
Get ready to go.
What's that?
Had to get ready to go.
Oh, yeah, you can't read a script with film. Although sometimes I've walked into it, listen to it, I'm like, I still have gum in my mouth. Why did I spit that for you? Okay, so this script I made up is something I would like you guys to practice with each other here. I'm going to kind of go through it and kind of give you the idea of maybe how to say it. I did emphasize a few things. And some of you are probably thinking, because you know what, I'm introducing you to Ignite, and we haven't even really touched on Ignite yet, but a lot of the stuff that we're talking about will flow into Ignite as it goes on, as we go on. And you're going to have other instructors. Starting Monday, you'll have another successful agent that's probably got a big team. I mean, some pretty incredible people are going to be teaching you. And they're going to share what they do. They're going to do the Keller Williams idea of it, and some of us are from other places other than Keller Williams. So they might use some of the things that they've learned, but you'll get the Keller Williams side, but you're also going to get some of the things that they've done to make their business successful. Okay? So this script that I typed up last night says, hello, Tim, right? Hello, Tim, this is Stephanie. And you are on a list of important people that I wanted to personally contact today to let you know that I have started a real estate business, and my goal is to help 20 families buy and sell homes this year. So I wanted to ask you, who do you know that is looking to buy or sell a home in the next 30, 60, or 90 days? And then I wait and I listen. Some of us always think I have to be talking, right? I got, oh my gosh, just like quiet time right there. What's going to happen? Wait and listen. Okay? If they refer you someone, oh, well, actually, my sister is thinking about moving to Arizona. Really? She's thinking of moving to Arizona? Great. Thanks for taking time to think about that. Hey, I'm ready to write down her contact information. What's her name and phone number? You may not give it to you. Oh, I might have her. I'll just let her call you. Really? I don't mind calling. I don't mind, right? I don't mind calling at all. It's not a problem. That's actually what I'm doing now. No, I feel better if she, called you. You know what? I appreciate it, Tim. Thank you so much. Hey, you know what? Tell her to call me anytime. If I don't pick up, tell me a message. I'll get right back to her. Okay? All right. Hey, Tim. Well, I got you on the phone. And thanks for taking time to think about. Let's see. I'm sorry. Okay. So either he knows someone or he doesn't. You don't know anyone right now. Okay. If they don't know anybody, you would say, you don't know anyone right now? Well, thank you for thinking about it. I appreciate it. What about you, Tim? When do you plan to invest in real estate this year? Wait and listen. Tim? When do you plan?
6 months.
6 months from now? You're thinking of buying or selling?
Buying.
Buying? Excellent. Okay. Where do you think you want to buy? Queen Creek. Awesome. Well, you know what? While I have you on the phone, because there's not much you can do in 6 months, right? I mean, there's more you could ask, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. Hey, Tim, I'll keep in touch with you in the next 6 months, and when it gets close to that time, I'd love to help you. Does that sound good to you?
Yes.
Okay. And so he's giving me a little bit of information. So, hey, thanks for taking time to help me with my business today, Tim. And while I have you on the phone, when is your birthday?
February 25th.
And what about your anniversary? You know what? Are you married?
Yes.
What's your wife's name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany. You know, I don't even know what yours and Tiffany's anniversary is. What is it? You're in
February
trouble.
7th. February 7th.
All right. Hey, and while I'm writing down all this great information, let me get your email address and your mailing address. Okay? And he's going to give that to me. I just say, I just start asking questions. I don't say, can I have your birthday? Because I can say yes or no. I just say, hey, what's your birthday? And they might ask, well, why do you do that? You know what? I'm updating all my friends' contact information, and that's something I really want to make sure I recognize. It's your birthday. It's an important date. When you were born, that was a really good day, Tim. What's your birthday?
I'd like to send you something.
Birthday cards.
Yeah, it's a value.
You could say stuff like that, but the idea is when John came in here today, he created value, right? He gave you some information. And you're going to develop a relationship with John. He's probably going to be one of the first guys you call if you don't have any of the inspectors on your list yet. By the way, you should probably get about 3 of them. But now you're developing a relationship. You're giving value. You're telling them this is what I'm doing, and I will also help you. And I want to keep track of important things about you. So you're nurturing the relationship. Okay. So you want to find out birth dates. I got to tell you, when you send a birthday card to somebody, and maybe you're not the really, really close friends, but they open it up and it's from you, that means a lot. How many times do you guys get something, and it's a handwritten note? Like, I'll get stuff from my my insurance guy, but it's printed. And I think, well, it was nice. At least they have me on there, you know. But when's the last time you got a handwritten card? And I'm going to show you. They're not very expensive. I have them right here. You can get them at Walmart. By the way, I'm going to be Walmart spokesperson here because I'm cheap. But I've got all these cute little birthday cards. You just keep them in your desk, wherever your home office is. And I've got some like for kids. I could send cards to their kids too. Seriously. They're going to go, wow. You could actually hire someone to do some of this stuff. It's called leverage. And you have people do things that you don't have time to do. But for a couple bucks, you can get cards. And they're really nice. Okay, so then thank you cards I send out. 25 for, gosh, I don't know how much it is. 25 for $3. And they're just simple thank you cards. And my goal every day is to drop 10 of these in the box, in the mail. Okay? We're gonna learn a little bit more about that too. So anyway, that's a script that I have. So what I'd like you to do is partner up, and I want you to just, well actually I want you to take a break, because you need to go out and get some energy, because now you're going to partner up with somebody, you're going to practice the script with each other. And you're just going to, we call that role playing, okay? And I got to tell you, role playing is crucial in this business, because you're going to role play, and the first time you role play, everybody's going to be very agreeable, right? And as you become a better script person, or you're going to learn how to handle objections. Objections are like, well, I was thinking about hiring a guy down the street. He's a real estate agent. That's an objection, right? You want to be in front of them too, right? Well, you know what? When an objection handler, we call it how do you handle objection. You know, I totally agree with you. I recommend to everybody, you're agreeable, right? I recommend to everybody, they at least talk to 2 different agents. After all, that person's going to be responsible for hundreds of thousands of your dollars. Wouldn't it be worth getting a second opinion? I mean, if you had a heart problem, you'd probably see 2 good specialists, wouldn't you? Yeah. Well, listen, I can come by tomorrow at 2 or 4. Which one works best for you? Oh, I guess 4 o'clock. All right, great. So you schedule it, and there you go. So script, and so let me tell you, before I let you go on your break, when I started the business, 2004, 4, I had a really great mentor named Beverly. And I had gone to this class and someone was talking about scripts. And I thought, wow, that sounds pretty good. You learn how to talk to people by saying these things and different ways of saying it. And so I went to Beverly and I said, hey Beverly, have you ever done scripts? And she said, I'm not a script person. I said, oh, then I'm not one either. Because Beverly says she's not a script person. So then I would go out and I'd work with buyers and sellers and I'd be doing things and I thought, oh no, especially my first couple, what if they say this? Oh my gosh, what if they say this? Oh my gosh, what if this happens? Oh my gosh. So I would call Beverly, okay, hey Beverly, I'm gonna go do this, but what if this happens? She goes, so that you would say something like blah, 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 blah. I go, okay, great. I write it down. Beverly, I just talked to I have an appointment and she wants this, this, and this. What do I say about this? Well, I would say blah, 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 blah. Okay. So eventually I would say, someday I'm going to be just like Beverly, and whatever she has told me, her responses are, that's going to come out of my mouth someday too. Well, one day I realized I had stopped calling Beverly, and I learned how to talk to buyers and sellers. Guess what Beverly was giving me? Her scripts. They work. So when people say, oh, I'm not a script person, well, if you want to be successful, you're going to find ways to talk to people so that they know that you're listening and hearing them and that you can now actually answer their questions and give value, right? So when you hear that word script, try not to make it, and I'm not thinking I'm Jim or anybody, but because I was there, is try to look at it and go, okay, this makes sense. I'm going to try it. I'm just going to try it. And that's why the role playing helps you, because if you mess up, by the way, nobody knows you're ever messing up. You only know you're messing up. But role playing helps you with the objections. And if you ever get an opportunity to hear Jesse Herfel, who is he's our OP.
Yep.
He operating principal.
Yes.
Is that what it is? If you ever hear him with scripts, whoa, you'll sign anything he puts in front of you. Because he's so good with it. And it's not that he's being manipulative or he's trying to trick you. He just knows that, hey, you want to hire me because blah, 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 blah. And he convinces you because it sounds like this man knows what he's talking about.
So when I was purchasing my house, I don't know if you remember, but I called you and I said, how do I submit an offer? What do I say to these people? Because I have no idea. But I didn't have a chance to do all the classes yet
Right.
because we kind of jumped into it and
It happens.
bought our house. But that's where scripts would have been really good for me because
Yes.
I had no idea what to say.
And some of you are, it's a great thing that you got your house before you do all this stuff. And some of you may come back by Monday and have a lead or two. And you won't have finished all the classes. So don't just take them. Take the leads, call Susie, call me, call somebody. Don't lose the business because you don't know what to say. Here's the best you can always say. You know what, I appreciate you gave me a call. I'm just finishing up an appointment. because your appointment can be with yourself. And I will call you back at 1:45. How's that sound? Sounds good. Okay, great. And tell me again, what do you want to talk about when at 1:45 you said you're looking at whatever. Take the notes and find somebody. Okay? Buy your time. When Susie was talking about how she is in real estate because she wants to be able to visit her husband and be able to go and do those things with him while he's out coaching. What else am I train of thought here? She did a lot of things she did because she wanted to be able to be with her kids, right? And real estate afforded her that. There are many times I have my calendar that Brian has a game here and Aubrey's doing something here or whatever, and those are my appointments, and people would say, can you come over? No, I have an appointment at this time, and I have an appointment at this time.
It's
Right?
an appointment.
It's an appointment. Remember, God, family, then business. Put all your family stuff first in your calendars. Nothing changes that. If you can be disciplined about that, your business will be incredible. Okay, I've talked a lot. Any questions before I let you guys go on like a 10-minute break? Okay, go. Come back in a minute.
Is there a restroom up here?
Yeah, go out this door and then make a right and then a left. No, a right, and then a left. I haven't talked this much in a while. I feel like I'm in school again.
I know you're a teacher.
And then I got to teach well, I have to especially for the first days.
I didn't know how you're a teacher.
So, wow, what an incredible background you have. That's pretty cool. I think so.
Thank you.
Well, your dad's, what you said, a mortgage lender?
He was, yes, he just maybe a month ago was now married. So he's doing that for years. My brother's helping.
Are they doing home loan type things?
Yes.
Okay.
They work for Chase.
Okay.
Maybe they go work for small places.
Cool.
Just trying to get work with some of your realtors. And he's like, they're making money. Like, you should just do that. He's like, no, like a lot of because I was always with my mom, obviously. So she was renewing houses and renewing houses, so she knows how to look for houses and stuff.
Cool. So would she go stage house then? Like,
Yes.
Okay. It's one of the people I hire when I do a listing proposal is, or when I base my listing agreement, is like, we can hire my stager. She goes in and does a room by room analysis. Hi, how are you?
Can I come for a minute?
Yes, we're having a 10-minute break, so that's
Oh, good.
and she does a room by room analysis. And she writes everything down, and that's just like, what's it? It's a consultation. And then, because they want her to go in for charge, they go up, maybe charge more, but, because they do have to get on analysis. And they have to, because I'm like, this is right now. She'll take what they have already, tries not to make them spend too much money, yes, they really need to repair things, do a paint or something. And, incredible, and then so I tell them, I have a checklist, this is the, do things on her list, but they can't have professional pictures for them. It's kind of like a carrot for them, that once that's checked off, then I can do this. I don't want to show it off, I mean, I want to get sold, and if it's much better, great. The house I bought was not staged well, bad lighting, and it was on a really dreary day. So it was like, great. But I used the neighborhood, and I used the location, and I told my sister, let's just go look at it. I know, and he's like, oh my gosh, it's awful. It looks like an old person's house. And I said, you just trust me, you gotta go and look at it. So we looked in, and he goes, oh my gosh, I love his house. I bought it. And it had been on the market for 42 days. And it was because it just looked sad. It looked dreary.
What can you do when somebody like this was supposed to go to 11, but you passed?
What was the question?
What do you do if they don't want it, like, they don't wanna stage their house? They don't wanna, I would say, I would start talking about money. And you talk about their motivation. Okay, you have to relocate to Kansas, and you need to be there in 60 days.
When the
And
break
you-
comes back.
As you know, and as a
Is this
professional,
so
you
that I can start
say,
helping you?
It's just a question of
Say that
asking
again.
people.
Click
About
that
their
button and then
motivations.
It ends at
Because it's all about motivation.
stop that one.
They really know
So I'm gonna walk up.
And as seasoned agents, I'm not gonna blame it all on you agents, we think, oh, eventually they're
Now,
gonna
wait
get
a minute,
there.
where did that
Sometimes we
go?
spend so
I
much
just
time that we're
moved
not
it over
focusing
there.
on the other.
So you're gonna put it back to something where I see that little icon?
I used to at the beginning, what's that?
We go to yard sales and stuff, you know.
And my realtor at the time, that's one of the reasons I decided to do real estate, because she did stage it a little bit, very pretty, you know, but
Well, you got two options. You can do it yourself, and then there are home staging companies, one of which we're looking to partner with Keller Williams. That, you know, you can use as a vendor and reach out and find out what those fees are, but it just comes down to what your client wants. And what you can say to them is, you know, we want to stage your home, this is what the fee is to stage it, and then it's not necessarily coming out of the promotion all the time, because it can get a little pricey. And I think it depends on the degree of where the house is already. Because I mean, if the house,
Also the level of the house. I mean, if it's
Right.
$1 million house and it's empty, it's a stage.
she just bought a couple things in the house, and then when we were done selling the house, she took it back, so, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure she's gonna reuse that.
yeah, yeah, I've done that, I do that for my clients. I come in and do minor staging, like I will tweak their living room if it needs a little bit better setup. I make sure there's nothing in their bathrooms, and when I say nothing, nothing, because your nothing and my nothing is different. So I'll go in there and take the few remaining things and just put everything underneath the countertops and everything that's in their tub and just stick it in there. Like no rugs, no nothing. And then I put like a little flower. I mean, it makes all the difference.
It is color. Yeah, I do, so when I do mine, I go in and I say I have a stager that I hire, I have this deal with her, so I pay, it's very minimal, $75. She goes in, does a room by room analysis. She emails it to me, I tweak it because there's things that they miss, I wanna make sure they're on there. So I tweak it, and then I send it to them, and I say, let me know, as soon as you get every room done the way it says on this list, I will come back and do a check. And then I will order professional pictures. So the incentive is no professional pictures until you do this. So it's and so she'll try to use what they already have in their home. The most that might, I may have been fortunate with some of the house that I've done, but the most that they've had to spend are maybe fresh towels. Go to TJ Maxx or Ross for fresh towels. And usually white towels is what they're saying, put it in the house, white fresh towels. But as she said, it's less is more. So I actually took a safety course back when the market was like, ooh, look at that. Just trying to add value, right, as an agent. So, class I took, you know, less is more. You learn, like, this is script, less is more. We want to sell the space, not the stuff in the space, right? We want people to see themselves in your house, not you in your house. So when you start saying those things to them, they think, wow, this person knows what she's talking about. But if you can have, I didn't bring it, we actually have, I have this little kit that I take to listing appointments, and it actually has pictures of the house that was staged professionally. And I showed it to them, and they, not, I shouldn't say professionally, it was, they had a consultation, and the people did everything that the stager told me to, and I looked up the pictures, and they go, oh my gosh. And so, less is more, and, you know, anyway,
Also, when houses are super, when they have too much crap.
they don't sell.
They're, yeah.
There's a house in my
It's also
neighborhood.
that makes it look small.
Yeah, there's a house, and you know, it's really sad, my client, well, 1 minute here. My client put an offer on this property twice. We went over to the house, she doesn't show up because they have old people curtains on the house. But it's a great house, and it's a great lot. And I'm thinking, I'm not gonna tell them to take those curtains down, because my people want this house, right? And if they might get multiple offers if they do the things I tell them to do. So the curtains need to be taken, and then just a few other little things here and there. And then the pictures that he put in there were gray, dark pictures. So nobody, you all know, but nobody's gonna take a look at it. So we went and put an offer in. They didn't even counter our offer. We went and put another offer did it all at one time, and say, this is how we're gonna do this. We're saying it's gonna sell because we're gonna do this, this, and this. So anyway, it's still on the market. Okay, you want to make it? Look at that. Okay, so pick a partner. And you're gonna practice scripts. What are we, oh, I gave the script, let me give you one.
Partner. Well, yeah.
There you go. I don't have to. Here's your script.
Susie,
I already did it. I made it another one.
And I need to remember that, so
Sit with us. I can go over there. Okay.
wow, this is way different than mine.
What's your strength?
That's okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let me, I gotta see something.
Okay.
I just realized I got.
Whoops, don't sit on that.
All right. I'll practice. So you want me to be the realtor?
Sure.
Or do you want to be the realtor?
I'll be the realtor.
All right. You want me to deny you or what do you want?
Now remember, these are people you guys already know. I know, okay?
Oh, yeah, 'cause I was like.
These are people you already know. Hey man, this is Stephanie Strobel, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, I just want to let you know, you are on a list of important people that I wanted to personally contact today to let them know that I started a real estate business. And my goal is to help 20 people, our families, buy and sell homes this year. So I wanted to ask you, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell a home in 30, 60, or 90 days?
Yeah.
I have a couple friends that want to get into the market. I want to buy a house in 3 months.
Hi, Tim.
That's not far away.
Yeah.
And you are
Well,
on
great.
a list of my
Let me
important
get
people that I want to personally contact today to let you know that I started a real estate business.
You know what? Let me
And my
get
goal is to help
information.
20 families
And,
buy and sell
maybe we
homes.
should have time to actually start
So,
talking about your
I wanted to ask you,
Is that,
do you happen to know anybody
Yeah, that sounds good.
who to buy or sell real estate in the next like
I'm
30,
sure,
60,
yeah.
or 90
So get
days?
your information. Hey,
Maybe my sister?
So,
I was just gonna go through that.
Where's your one of my 20.
Well, I'm trying to think, but I do know, like I said, I have a friend that wants to buy a house. So I can talk directly to him and see if he can sell the house instead. Because I know that apartments like that.
awesome. Do you think that I could like contact
Do you
him?
mind giving me his information?
Okay, but you guys, we were done by the something. Okay.
All right, well,
Would you be willing to
before I let you go,
give
let me
her
make
my
sure I get all your information. Make sure I
Okay,
got
awesome. That's, so can you think of anybody else right now?
Oh my gosh.
No, alright, awesome. If you,
Your anniversary.
like, think of anybody, you know, moving forward, that I could maybe help, I would really appreciate that. Give me that info.
And your best email address.
And what about you?
Your best email
Are
address.
you like
Yep, yep.
thinking about investing in real estate or anything? No? Okay, alright. Well, if that's a change, I really appreciate if you would give me a
Alright, fine.
call and give me an opportunity to
Alright,
speak with you.
Stephanie, right?
Yes.
Hey Stephanie, how's it going?
Good.
Good. This is your friend Matt. I just started real estate school, just finished it. I became a real estate agent, starting my
Whose birthday is
business.
February 24th?
You're one of the more important people I wanted to call to help me reach my goal.
Alright,
20 people.
cool. I'm building my database. So I just want to get everybody in
I
there.
know, I'm really excited
So
to
I
do it.
know your kids
Do
are
you know
Mike,
anybody or
Sam,
any
and
friends
Amy,
that
right?
might
And
be able to
your
get
dogs
houses?
are Toto. Your wife's name is Kathy. What's Kathy's birthday?
The word who is important.
You better know this question. Okay, and then when you guys have your anniversary, how many years is it?
Alright, so who do you know that is wanting to
And the
buy a
date
house
of
next
yours,
year?
yeah, you better. Okay, cool. Alright, well, I'm writing all that down, and I want to keep good track of you guys, so do you mind if I call you back?
Oh, really?
So,
Are you pretty close to your
awesome,
neighbor?
thank you so much, Tyler.
I love him, but I think he's gonna go move down to Boston.
Awesome. Well, hey, do you have his name and number that you can?
Yeah, can I text
I've
it to
never
you?
read
Yeah, go ahead and text him to me, and then I'll give him a call and some equipment. Could you let him know that you might get help in the real estate?
Yeah, well,
Can I text you in like 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, no, yeah, I'll text it to you.
And then if I don't get anything, I'll just send you a reminder text.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
But while I'm on the phone, do you have any plans of selling your house? find anyone for me?
And you're on a list of people that
I appreciate that. You know, my son's gonna graduate next year from high school. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure.
Well, if you ever need any questions or help, just give me a call. I'll be able to help you. But I don't know.
Oh, it's 9/3/66. It's coming up.
926. Wow, that is close. Mine's August 25th, so we're really close. We're gonna be Virgo buddies, right? You're Virgo. Sweet.
Oh, great.
Yeah, awesome. And
Thanks
what's
for
your,
taking
you and your
time
husband
to
there?
think about that.
It's March 28th.
Cool. Well, maybe you'll get some letters from the mail from me. So.
Okay.
I'm
You know
ready to
what?
write down
Email
contact
address.
information.
Oh, email, yeah. And what's your email? I need your
You
email.
know what? I'll text all that to you when I text you my friend's information.
Sounds good. That's great.
We'll send you a reminder right now.
I will. I'll make sure to put it in my calendar.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Okay, cool.
But I can give you their address.
Okay.
So we're on the phone.
Yeah.
You can do me in person there.
It's 123
Of
Sesame
course.
Street.
There you go.
You know, and do you
I'm not. I like strips. They're good. Really? I like being the person that.
see, I would break this up for
Yeah, that's really.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, really?
What about you? When do you plan to invest in real estate this year?
I am. I serve the
I was
mission.
thinking about investing.
What? Are you out there?
Thanks for taking the time to help me with that. My business today. While I have you on the phone,
I serve the mission.
your anniversary. Are you married?
I am married.
So this is a long time to
January
It
27th.
is, yeah.
And then,
Can
my
I
best
get
clients,
an
vendors, bishops, and,
Susie Steinman at gmail.com.
Yeah, because they know everybody in the
What's that
community.
about?
yeah, well, I just,
126 Sesame Street.
Thank you for your time.
Welcome, Tim. Good luck.
I'm not really best now, is,
So I gotta,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I split things up as yes and no,
they're very,
so I don't go on.
what I love about it is,
Very family centered.
One thing that I would suggest
and of course,
always
these kids all
offer
her,
to be their
so
real
we take
estate
care of her here, so.
their real estate resource. So
Yeah, and I was a part of this.
it's always providing value.
Yeah, they're fun. They
Did
teach
you
you.
meet your husband for a white definition?
No, I met her actually on Tinder.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like,
So do you ask people on Tinder?
I'm personally.
Probably, that's on technology guy, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So she only
Yeah.
hello?
All right, how's it going, everybody?
Good, how are you? I'm good, thanks. This is Amanda. I'm reaching out today because I am contacting.
Well, one more time. One more time.
I have my real estate license.
Oh my gosh, good for you.
I know, it's super exciting. And my goal today is to reach out to you and talk to you a little bit and find out, what are your real estate?
We're gonna do next.
Real estate. You know what? I don't just find out about that.
Well, I'm really similar on that first segment. And my other question today would be, do you know anybody that I could help? I have a goal of helping 20 families this year. And I'm just wanting to see if you have a for me that I could reach out and say,
I think that's my cousin. She lives in East Side. So she's been kind of looking at new homes by herself.
I would love to be able to help her with that. There's so many good reasons that they should be using an agent, right? They want to protect themselves because that agent doesn't represent them, they represent the builder. So, a lot of people don't know that. So I would love the opportunity to reach out to them. Can I get their contact information?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Your name's Victoria. Okay.
So your number's 555.
And when I reach out, do you mind if I tell them that you gave me the contact? Fantastic. Perfect. So I just want to come out and talk about what real estate is. You know, lots of people don't think about what that means.
Are you teaching any of your classes?
And it doesn't necessarily mean
Our 11, which is global deal.
let's just talk about what your future looks like.
That's good, because we go over
Yeah, I think my
all
husband
the
and I
other
maybe
parts
stay in
of
our
the
house.
contract. So like addendums,
That's awesome.
solar
Got
panel
kids leading. I forgot your kids are already so big.
I know.
all that stuff.
So,
what I'm gonna do is
so you
I'm
probably
gonna
have a file
send
like all
you
these papers in already, right?
For that one,
And it's just kind of a
probably.
Right, I'm thinking to kind of make, because this is the way,
I'll send you another one. And we'll kind of continue to do that until you're ready to move forward and ask me questions.
I know it works.
That would be great. And in the meanwhile, you know, our information has been really acting up, and I don't want to use the company we used before because I was
If I was able to get it started.
legit. Do you know anybody?
I'll put everything in a file that
And I can scan it and
That'd be awesome. And then we can keep the file for the next person who doesn't have. Now, I put this class together myself, but it's got the main ideas. It's the
I would love to.
and then also the reason and what's going to start happening.
For this one.
Great, I appreciate that. Very cool.
So I will keep, I'll put something in the file.
I will be in touch soon.
Yeah, if we make more files, I can start.
So you would know if she has your own
Just for the sake of that might watch.
I wouldn't, I mean, if you're cool with that, well, if you're, I was gonna say,
Oh,
if
yeah.
these are important people on your list, you hopefully know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
You're gonna know, like if they're renters.
But this wouldn't be a
No, I would treat it as a warm call, like, hey, listen, this is tense, I'm in real estate, I want you to know that I feel
People you know already.
Yeah. Use that for those things to leverage, right? Great team support.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
What can I do?
I already did that on my Facebook. I know that I switched over.
Oh, yeah.
And I said something about, if you need our help, whatever, we have 60,000.
Okay, you feel a little bitter, like you felt like, I wasn't so bad.
Or two.
No? Yes, Susie. Susie asked a very important question. She said, this is for people you know already. You go, definitely. Yeah. You know these people. So you've got 5 people. You've got 5 cards in front of you. Okay. You are actually going to make some calls right now. I know. Boy, did that head pop up fast over there. What? Using something very similar to this, because, ladies and gentlemen, people need to buy and sell houses today. They're not waiting for you to, get through Ignite. They don't know you're in Ignite, by the way. And they probably don't, it doesn't mean anything to them. The most important thing right now is finding a really good real estate agent. So if I told you right now, by making a couple calls today, that you could end up with a buyer or a seller, would you be okay with making a $12,000 commission in about 45 to 60 days? Would you be okay with that? Would it suck or hurt if that happened? Get a commission. I usually don't say the suck word, but would it be really bad? Would it be bad, and would your life be miserable, and you'd be very unhappy if in 45 days to 60 days you got a commission for $9,000 to $12,000? Nobody's answering, but I guess it would be bad. It would be good, right? You would start meeting some of those expectations on that 100 list thing that we talked about. Okay, so what I would like to do, and you're going to start seeing a lot of this in Keller Williams, and it's not to embarrass you or to make you do something you don't like to do. It's to help you with your why, because that list of 100 things is your why. Why am I doing this? Sometimes when I'm at home and maybe I'm in a transaction and doing some paperwork, and I know I should be doing my phone calls or whatever. I reaching out to my sphere of influence, and I'm not doing it. I have to think, why am I not doing that? I'm in this business that pays really well, and I'm not calling these people, and I gotta let you know. This spring, I was very lazy or not as consistent as I should have been on making calls to people, and I had 2 cousins sell and buy houses in Howard. I had a friend buy and sell without them, and I haven't been reaching out to them. When I look at it, that's probably about $1 million worth of commissions. Not $1 million total, but $1 million worth of sales. So commissions would have been 3%, would have been $30,000 by not making calls. Okay, and so I had many reasons for not doing it. I'm a seasoned agent, right? You guys don't have those bad habits. You're gonna. That's why you can tell Williams to develop the great, good habits that are going to help your business be successful. So what I'd like you to do is think of 5 people you want to call, or try. The goal is to reach 5 people. Use this script, And the cards are to complete the information, their birth dates. Maybe you don't know if you call someone, maybe it's someone you just met, and you know what, hey, I put you on a list of people I really wanted to reach out to today. And I know we just met, but I really would like to let you know that I just started a real estate business. And my goal is to help 20 families buy and sell homes. And so I wanted to know, who do you know right now that's thinking of buying or selling? And you don't know what's going to happen. And then we're going to come back at the end. I'll give you about 10 minutes so you can reach. And then we're going to see what your results were and what they said to you. And some of you are going to be very surprised about what they say. You're starting your real estate business today. That script applies. Okay? So do you want music on, or do you want to just not play? What are you calling? Doesn't matter. I'll put a little bit of music on. All right. 5 people. Y'all have your phones. I saw you. I saw them out earlier. You can do it, you guys. Come on. Come on in, young lady. Before we leave. Look at all these people. You know what? They're making their first calls here. They're reaching out to 5 people right now, and they're going to ask for some business.
How about that?
Isn't that awesome?
It's not going to be as hard as you think.
Nope.
No.
5 people are reaching out to. This is Danette. You'll be learning from Danette coming up here soon.
And you're going to be all invited to come to Scripps Workshop. So if you're having trouble doing this today, make sure you come next Tuesday, and we'll talk about all the little things on what I call the dance of keeping the conversation going. Okay? So next Tuesday.
Thanks, Danette.
So can we text them or do we have to call them?
You have to call them.
Hey, Mark, how's it going? No, it's good.
I don't have my license yet, but I'm just waiting for them to.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the picture from me. That was cool. Dude.
Pretty hot outside, isn't it? How's the life with 2 kiddos?
It is. Do you know where you're stationed at?
So, I was one of my contact people is on that list. And I'm going to see if you know anybody or are interested in buying or selling insurance.
Getting to sleep yet?
Buying or selling your home or if you know anybody.
Oh my goodness, it's so good to hear from you. I'm doing well. How are you? Oh. Oh my gosh. That is so awesome. I appreciate it so much. I'm happy to give them a call. Yeah, let me get their information first, and then you know what? I've been meaning to get together, and I know you're busy with babies, or your babies aren't babies anymore. How old's your youngest?
Are you guys at home or?
Oh my gosh. So we could go out to get coffee or lunch, and then I'll let you know what's been going on, because it's a miracle. Okay, good. Well, give me your parents' information, and is it okay if I give them a call today? Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was called. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
So I was called.
Uh-huh. Of course. Uh-huh.
Kind of run into certified and get answers. Is that okay? So.
Okay.
It's I'm kind of going.
Yeah, go for it.
It's when you guys are calling to find out if you know anybody that is in your,
Where are they going to go after that?
something like that. That's planning on buying or something. next 30 or 60 years.
Okay.
It's- Okay.
I see. Yeah, I know, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool, man. Well, I'll let you guys
Would they
work.
consider East Mesa? Have you heard of Eastmark?
I'm nice and great.
That far out? Okay, okay. All right.
Are you guys still planning on something else?
I think naturally as guys,
No.
I think I'm gonna forget.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, just too much stress.
So I heard my wife reached out to me, right? So this
Uh-huh.
activity.
What about her? What's her
It's
doing?
really hard, man.
Okay.
We keep saying it. And then-
Okay, well, we have ways of getting that done. We have ways. I have actually what I do every time I take a listing, regardless of the home and the people, whether they're friends or strangers, that I've just met and they want me to list, I hire a stager and they do a consultation, a room-by-room consultation, and they give them a to-do list. And if they do all these things on the list, you come back and you go, oh my gosh, this is not the same house. This is a different house. So anyway, and I pay for that, so it's not out of pocket. And if they wanted help, of course, they could pay, someone to do it for them. But at least they get a starting point, and then we do professional pictures. And it's again my cost. And I always want to.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you know that. Well, hey, it's an honor to take care of your parents. I really mean that.
Okay. I know Tiff was planning.
I would love it.
Something for
Okay.
later, but I don't know. I don't like to travel on it.
No problem. I want you there then. I will make sure that I'll call you as soon as we set up a time, and and we'll make sure it's going to work for you too.
All right. Well, I'll mention that to her.
Okay.
All right. You too. Thank you.
I would love it. Well, I have my calendar right now. You have yours? Or okay. Okay. Oh, I opened up the wrong calendar. Oops. I had a sample out here. I'm teaching a class. We're having a break right now, and I'm.
Jeremy was saying.
I teach new agents how to be an agent like me. It's fun. And then Robert's retiring. It's his last year. He's and then he's actually going into real estate right now too. He's just started his classes. So we have miracles, but now we need prayers for they'll both be working together. Oh, we're gonna do all kinds of crazy. I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Okay, next week is already we're in August now. Let's see here. There we go. How about a lunch? How about Tuesday at noon? Okay, and maybe we can even, well, regardless, I'll call your parents. We can, we'll still hold our lunch date, but maybe if possible we'll work it around our lunch date, or if we need to meet sooner with them, we'll meet sooner. Okay.
Out working?
I know, I feel like I'm headed that way soon.
Cool. Are you still working?
Okay, I'll let you know ahead of time what I get accomplished with the parents. I'll make a call to them here in a little bit. Okay, thanks Marie. God bless. Bye-bye. Does this count?
Allison?
I'm just passing it.
Oh, so you actually.
I plug a video, stereo box.
Should I just like the stream should keep going? Do you have more stuff you're gonna share?
Yeah.
Do you?
Okay, cool.
So what days off do you have then?
It's Tim Plummer. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit.
What's wrong with her?
Thursdays, Fridays.
All my friends know, so I mean.
You almost have a, like, are you from?
Romania.
Pretty much
From where?
Romania.
Romania. is
Yeah,
the same.
everybody says I have an accent, but
Yeah,
I don't think I do.
I hear it.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
Amanda asked that we have everybody handle before they leave today.
Awesome. Okay.
Sweet. Yeah, let me
And you might want to stick around.
back with
because
Cody.
it's-
Do you want to talk off or anything like that?
Well, the way they get, yeah, they can down with Kelly without having to do all the other, that, they send out.
That's
They
not
just
how
like
we do it.
Scott Leroy.
Yeah.
That has
I
nothing to do
did
with
not talk
Kelly.
to
Kelly can just be uploaded or downloaded right there.
Yeah, since I moved back.
I know there's still things that's like, there's a week or something.
Yeah.
Kelly that gives you.
Sweet, man. Well, also,
I already know
we
everybody's
call,
birthday.
My dad is like, I
Hey,
don't
you
want
were
to
just a plumber.
He's like, no.
Yeah,
You know anybody that does?
Are you,
friends.
oh, are you? Where are you going to? Oh, basement, okay. Oh, that's awesome. Are you still working?
Cool, yeah, and yeah, definitely let them know that I'm here to help and see more stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Hey, I might
Send
have
them
some
nice
extra
list of folks that-
here because I'm kind of closing down. You know, the
But yeah, we-
video stuff. So I might have some extra little goodies that, you know, you can take a look at it if you want to. Just give
Maybe
it
we'll
to
try to
me.
shoot that.
Not, then whatever. But, so, I wanted to ask you, or I don't know if you realize that I was,
I'll talk to Cody.
just became a real estate agent about a year ago. Yeah,
Right, it's pretty sharp.
yeah, that's why I have.
Let me talk to Cody, I'm gonna start a group text. And then we'll try to get something set up.
That you might know of is looking to buy or sell at this time.
Yeah.
When you fall, when you get a chance.
Yeah, that's, you know, that would be doable. I'll send you anybody that comes through, but pretty much everybody knows that.
Cool.
that
Yeah, let me start a
stop,
group
so I
text.
haven't gotten very many referrals lately. But when I do, because I'm still keeping the website running, and I do
We'll try to do
those,
something
you know,
tomorrow.
things to where everybody, but when I do, I'll send it back to you. Yeah, but, I just
Cool, man,
was
it's
calling
great
because I
talking to
wanted
you.
to see if, you knew anybody that was, interested in buying or selling a house right now, or in the near future. Yeah, house or a condo, whatever.
Is that time?
Just
about, Another yeah, year. You're good. Yeah, yeah. Well, let me interject. So when you're ready, we have lenders that I really trust. And we can, you know, I can hook you up with them.
It is,
What they can do
there's a lot of
is you
schools
can just kind of
on that,
give them a rundown of your situation,
like we're not.
and they can put together, help you put together a plan. It's like totally free of charge, but they can help you put together a plan of things that you need to do to get to the point of being able to qualify, and it's really helpful. Yeah, so like I said, it's free of charge.
But if
So.
you wait to prospect at the end of the day, some people do, sometimes like, you know, say Tuesday, Thursday, I'm just gonna do it on Tuesday, Thursday, I'm not gonna do it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
You know, 6 to 7, it's darker too, so, you know, you're fall and winter come on, but the idea is that if you wait until the end of the day, things start happening, and then you go, well, I'm not gonna have time to prospect now, I've gotta go over here, I've gotta go this, I've gotta go that. You do your process, because
Yeah.
on stage minimum, 2 most important things in this business are lead generation and open houses.
And I don't know if they can.
Very talented. If you do lead generation every day, and you do 2 to 3 open houses a week, you will make,
Okay.
you're never gonna make $1 million a year.
And then to do like open houses, that's like something that we would just.
I mean, I'll bring something about it when we're good, just to see how we go through it.
And then, so,
Right.
I mean,
And
my
open
husband's
houses-
number one fear is that something's gonna happen to me if I'm alone at an open house.
Then you could partner with somebody.
Right, that's what I was
Yeah,
about to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, you know, something that.
Or get a gun.
Just have to, we're doing
Yeah,
this.
so there's, you know, I
No,
will have to
open
check
houses
about
looks
how
great.
student loans
You
reflect
just have to,
on qualifying,
yeah,
but
be
I'll check into
partners,
that and
so
I'll email you.
And
A
you
lot of
split,
vendors will go with
you
you.
make a deal, like they will either split everything that we make
Okay,
today,
so
or
no
we take
car or
one, I take
anything
one,
like that.
but yeah, safety's number one.
So, like, let's say if I wanted to do an open house by myself and my husband wanted to.
You know, it just,
Yeah, cool.
whatever you're comfortable with.
All right, well, I'll check
Some
into
people take
that,
title people,
how that
lenders
affects
do them.
everything.
Is then the lender can sit there and
I'll
qualify.
let you know when I'm ready to give up that equipment, so.
The lenders want, especially if it's a new lender.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
So pick a lender that you trust and then ask them who can come in and make it easy. Okay, how's it go, everybody?
No, and possibly buying in a year.
Okay, so let's just kind of add this up a little bit. So we have, let's just say leads. Leads would be something that may be happening, a very positive possibility. There we go. So you have one in a year, right? Okay. Anything?
I had one no, and then I had one friend that gave me a name, but he said he's still gonna talk to him. He's gonna be living with this guy, so he's getting a bigger house to have more roommates in there. He didn't want to give me a number yet, he wants to talk with the guy.
Okay. I'm gonna call that a lead. It's a lead because you can follow up with it, okay? How about you guys?
I called my dad
Well, I don't know if this counts, but I checked this is what I had on my phone. God is so good, I gotta tell you. Hi Stephanie, my parents want to sell their home in the spring. I was hoping you would be their realtor. They want someone to come in and let them know what they need to do to get the house ready. Can you do this? God bless Marie. That was my desk.
right now.
Just now. Yeah. I'm like, yes! I do, and I feel bad because I haven't really reached out to this person. So if this person's reaching out to me, but I haven't reached out to her in a long time, that's good.
You did a good job.
What about all the other people? Exactly. What about all the other people I'm not reaching out to on a consistent basis? So that's the consistency is what's going to drive your business. So real quick, when you call, and so I'm not going to count mine because they called me, I didn't call them. So we got 2 leads out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. So let's say that each one ends up being, let's just do, our average sales price is a little over 300. So let's say that this one's at 300K and this one's at 300K. And the commission for both of them, well, they're both going to be about 3% times 2 commission. So we're looking at 9 and 9. So in reality, if these 2 end up closing, we just made $18,000. You guys called for 10 minutes. What would happen if you called for an hour? What would happen if you door knocked for an hour? He erased it. Number 3, you just went to get the business? You went to get the business.
Going to get the business.
You're going to get it. That's it. You don't have to write. You don't have to write it. All right. So, and did it cost you anything? Except make sure you keep paying that cell phone bill, right? But you didn't buy any leads from Zillow, which are thousands of dollars a month. You didn't buy a bunch of mailers. People will send out mailers. How many of you get mailers in the mail? How many of you keep them? How many of you throw them away? They can work if it's consistent, but it's very expensive. So, in 10 minutes, I think these are going to come to it. I think you're going to get these closed. I really do. From what you're telling me, they sound very positive. $18,000. So your guy doesn't know when he's going to sell?
He's planning on doing it soon. I talked to this guy I've had my license for about 3 months now. So I called him a few months ago and he told me that this guy was planning on buying a house, didn't give me the name at that time. And now, so I know I will get the business, it's just, it's before the end of the year.
So you're looking at 1 to 3 months down the road. And your guy is in?
I'm sorry.
When is your person supposed to sell?
Oh, he's gonna buy, he thinks in a year, but he needs some help with a lender to see if he qualifies, so that's what I'm gonna do now.
Mine is a buy-in.
Keller Mortgage.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
Yes, do it.
Look you up with that.
So in 10 minutes, we made $18,000.
And my guy's a buy and a sell.
Oh, we made
Selling.
$27,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so explain to my friend Takesha how we just made $18,000.
Hi, Takesha. Well, we just called some people that we knew, and we told them, hey, Takesha, it's Stephanie, and you're on my list of people that I really wanted to talk to today. I just started a real estate business, and I wanted to let you know that my goal is about 20 families this year buy and sell houses. So who do you know right now that's thinking of buying or selling? I'm asking you, Takesha. I want someone. Yeah. I'm just kidding. So, there you go. There's this kid. I just made it up last night. So anyway, they called 5 friends each, and he got 2 leads, one's gonna buy and sell, and one's gonna buy in a year, or sell in a year. So we did an average commission of $300,000 sales price, so that would be $9,000 commission. So we just made $27,000 in less than 10 minutes. So if you wanna do that,
This is where you
all
want to
over,
be.
and up here, for your computer,
Yeah.
we start Monday.
Yep. So I just want to introduce Takesha. She is at another brokerage. She's just looking at Keller Williams.
Ooh.
Right. She wants to get her feet solid, and I told her this is where she needs to be. And I wanted to show her what Ignite looked like. We'll have more. So this is called Fuel Up. Ignite number 1 will be on Monday, and I know we'll have several more.
We're setting expectations right now, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yep.
And I was at another brokerage once upon a time too, so
I came over 2 days ago.
there you go. He's only been in business 3 months, so yeah, it happens quick.
Yep. Yep. And Susie's our productivity coach. Hi, she's the one I was telling you about. So, okay, well, we'll let you be.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
All right. Okay, so when you do
Nice
make
to
those
meet
calls, do you know anybody? What are they gonna say? Do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell a house? No. Who do you know that is looking, right? Who do I know? They actually have to stop a minute too, because you ask them a question that requires some thought, not just a response, right? So who do you know that's thinking of buying or selling? Who do you know that wants to invest in real estate? Okay, so then we got, so really we got 27,000, because this is gonna be another one, because that was twice, so I'm just doing average sales price. And so we got 3 of them, so then we got 27,000. Nice. Okay, so you have those cards there. This is a very simple way. People go, what CRM do I use? And CRM stands for Customer Relationship Manager, something like that, yes. And there's all these systems. We have one. You can start putting your people in it. But Gary Keller says the best thing to do to make $1 million is lead generate every day and do 2 to 3 open houses a week. If you do those 2 things, you will make $1 million in real estate. Now, Gary started with some very simple systems, and we're going to do a really, we're going to watch a video. It's about 12 minutes long. It's kind of dated.
Hey Chris, so you just finished your lead generation course,
Yes,
and did you enjoy that?
yes, I did.
Good, good.
I do have a question for you.
Okay.
The course spent a lot of time talking about contact database management,
Uh-huh.
and I don't
Okay.
understand where that fits in. Also, Gary, I understand that's where Keller Williams was built,
Sure, absolutely. And it's still built that way today.
okay? It seems like a really mundane task, but the book talks about it quite a bit.
Right.
Can you tell me more about that?
Sure, absolutely. Think of it this way, Chris. Sales is an activity. If you're going to build a sales profession, however, you're going to have to build it on contact management. A sales profession is contact management. Now, when we talk about contact management, we really have 2 broad issues we have to deal with. One is when you meet someone and you want to remember how to get in touch with them later, or you want to market to them consistently over time, how do you set that up? The other issue you're going to have to deal with is if that same individual also says in 3 months, I want either a list or buy a home, how will you consistently know to stay in touch with them so that you're there with them when they need to make that decision? How do you do that naturally? Well, we call that contact management or database management, okay? Keller Williams was built on actually this box right here. I've dusted it off for this video, but I went back and pulled out the actual box I used in 1979. Now today you have technology, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I'm going to encourage you that you start your lead generation program to build your career on a box. And as quickly as you understand the concepts and you understand what they do for you, then I'm going to say go for it. And whether that be in 30 days, 60, 90 days, or a year, I'm going to say then, once you understand what you're trying to achieve with the system, then go sit down and analyze the different technology options, programs that are available today that will help you do this a lot easier and a lot quicker. Because technology will do that. But one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they jump into technology too quickly and they don't really understand what it's supposed to do for them. And if you do understand that and you want to go ahead and go with technology, that's fine. But I'm going to encourage you to wait just a little while.
What I don't understand, Gary, is, well, I can understand the concept of a file system, but I don't understand how I'm supposed to use this on a day-to-day basis. That's what I'm struggling with.
All right. Well, can I just go to the box and open it and just talk to you about it for a second?
Sure.
So if, essentially, this is my business. I want you to think of it this way. When we hear about professional individuals outside of real estate, doctors, lawyers, and you hear about them selling their practice, what are they selling? Well, they have some equipment and all that, but ignoring all of that, what are they actually selling?
Well, I imagine their clients.
Right, their client database. Okay, what if they hadn't kept one? What if they hadn't nurtured it? What if that was just a loose bunch of names that people had done business with them over the years? Okay, that's going to be very different than an attorney or a doctor or a realtor, such as yourself, who has taken the time to actually build long-term relationships with people through what we call contact management and database management. So I want you to think of, at the end of the day, this is your business. This box, or again, later it's going to be in a computer, but this box, for now, represents your business. This is it. Okay? Now, the way that contact management works is real simple, and it's easier to demonstrate, in my opinion, with paper than with a computer, which is why we're doing that today. But here's what's going to happen. Now I'm going to actually teach it to you the same way I learned it, okay? I have a degree in real estate. I came out of college in '79, and this is the way they taught me to do it. This is the way I did it. First thing is, and actually for this class, or for this video, excuse me, I actually unstapled business cards and unglued them, so these are actual 1979 cards.
Wow, vintage.
Yeah, like you care, of course. But it was cool for me, either vintage, they're even, they're a little discolored. These are actually the same cards right here that I used back in 1979.
So you've got cards that have letters.
Let's go through that. So here's what, let's start this manner. To get this system in place, I'm going to encourage you to have 2 different colored cards. And it doesn't matter, just 2 different color ones, okay? Then you're going to need cards that say A through Z, okay? Just as easy, A through Z. Okay. Then we're going to need cards that say January through December.
Okay.
And then we're going to need cards that say 1 through 31.
Okay.
Now, with these 5 elements, 2 different colored cards, A through Z, January through December, 1 through 31, we're ready to go. So here's what happens. You're out prospecting, marketing, lead generating, and you meet someone. And let's say that individual says, no, we're not interested in doing business today of any type, but in 6 months or a year, we might. That's a prospect. Okay. So what we do is we immediately, when we get back to the office, we get all the data in whatever form you want. If you carry these cards with you, you can just write them on the card. But you get back to your office, you're going to fill out 2 cards. We're going to make the yellow one our permanent record. Okay. So we're going to write down all the pertinent information about them: name, address, phone number, email, address, everything, and any other data that we need to know about them, birthdays and things like that. We're going to write all that down. And this is a permanent record. We're going to alphabetize it by their last name. We're going to take it and we're going to put it right here, in the A through Z. turnaround, but I'm gonna stick it up for right now.
Okay.
We're gonna file it right there.
Okay.
Now, so if ever I need to know what their phone number is or address is or anything pertinent about them, where do I go?
You go to the yellow card.
There it is. Yeah, I know exactly where it is. I go to it, pull it out, and there's everything I need to know. It's always there.
And then I would imagine, as I learn more about that prospect, as I develop a relationship with him or her, I keep adding
Sure, it goes to the permanent
yellow card.
Sure, it goes to the
Okay.
yellow card.
Okay.
Yeah. The nice thing about technology is this card, and by the way, I want you to notice why my cards were so big, right? Because a lot of data and stuff that I put on them.
Yeah.
But a computer is just even easier and can handle a lot more information than even this little card. So depending upon how much you wanted to add over time, there's some software programs that do a wonderful job of just building and building on that. They give you a lot of space to do that, okay?
Okay.
But the big cards really worked well for me getting started in my lead generation program.
Okay.
So we've created the permanent record. Now, the other card, the white card, is going to be my ongoing contact record with them. So I'm going to put their name, address, and phone number here, and probably email address there.
Okay.
And maybe the names of spouse, kids, or whatever, just so I have that there. And then I'm going to write the date today, and I'm going to say, met, had this discussion. They said that they would be needing to talk in 6 months to a year about, let's say, selling their home. I'll write that down. Bam.
Okay.
Okay? Now what do I do with this card? Here's what I do. I go through, I'm going to put it probably in February or March, but probably February. I'm going to give it 30 days or 45 days or whatever. I'm just going to drop it behind that month.
Okay.
Okay? And we're done. Now what's going to happen is I'm now going to roll along January, February, March, April, okay? I'm going to roll along, and come February, the first thing I'm going to do at the beginning of the month is I'm going to go to my February card, and behind it I'm going to pull out all the cards sitting there.
Okay.
And hopefully we're going to have a big stack of cards.
Okay.
And as I go through them, I'm going to find their card, and it's going to say, they said, they might be doing something in 6 months. That would be June of this year.
Okay.
Notice it's in February. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it and I'm going to go, do I need to do anything with them this month?
Okay.
It's a reminder. We call that a tickler system, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's called tickling the files. So what I'm doing is it's going to pop out automatically, and I'm going to say, do I need to do something with that? If I do, then I do it. Okay. Call them, write a note, drive by and see them, whatever. I do whatever I think I need to do. If I look at it and I go, nah, you know what, it would be bugging them, or I actually ran into them or something, or somehow I have knowledge or an opinion that isn't it, what should I do? Well, I'll just put it in March.
Okay.
So I just bump it if I don't want to do anything with it. If I do something with it, then I keep it in my stack, and that's the group of cards I worked this month.
Okay.
Okay?
So you only use that once a month?
What, the card filing system?
Yes.
No, here's what happens. Now that we've set the system in place, let's go one step further. Let's say, for instance, that I have another person that I meet, and I have my permanent record. I fill all that out. I file it under the permanent record. But this person needs to buy a home, or something needs to happen next week.
Okay.
Or I need to follow up again with them next week.
Okay.
Okay, what do I do with that? Well, I fill out the interim card.
Okay.
Okay. And I pop it under January, but notice I have 1 through 31 in here.
Ah.
And 1 through 31 is sitting behind January. So I now pop it behind January 8th.
Okay.
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 So what happens is that in the month that I'm in, let's say it's January, the month that I'm in, I actually have the 1 through 31 behind that.
Okay.
And I'm moving the cards through the month.
Ah, okay.
So I'm working the 1 through 31 all month long.
Okay.
Okay, just a simple little system. If I have an assistant, that individual's doing the same thing. If they know of things that need to happen or need to be done, they drop them in behind those days too.
Okay.
Okay, with a client or customer.
Okay.
Not tasks, just contacting or doing something with a customer.
Okay.
But if they know of something, you need to call the Jones next week and blah, 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 fine, they can move that card too.
Okay.
And they go in, they move it, and it pops up, and they go, oh, Jones, blah, 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 here I need to do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So this is a great way to say, oh, we've sold them a home, the next thing we need to do is get them pre-qualified, pre-qualify on Thursday. Well, let's say Thursday is the 5th. Bam, I put it behind the 5th. I take care of what I need to now, put it behind the 5th, it pops back up.
Okay, so you don't have a special section for customers, a special section for prospects, a special section for past customers?
No.
They're all treated the same as
Yeah.
you work your way through?
Sure, it's just my customers. There's
Okay.
no reason, there really is, I actually tried that, and that didn't work well at all for me. They're my customers. Now, here's what happens. This system does two things for me.
Okay.
Number one, it helps me create a database that I then implement, let's say my 33 touch program or whatever farming or
8x8?
Sure, 8x8, any of the programs that you're implementing to market to people over a long period of time, it's the A through Z file. You pull it out, and that's what you market to. So think about it. Every month you're doing two things with your file. One is you're marketing to your A to Z,
Okay.
whether it be 33 touch or whatever. The other thing you're doing is you're actually working through the individual relationships, contacting them as they need to be based on their need. All you did was put people in a database and market to them every week or 2 or 3 weeks. You've only done part of it.
Okay.
And I see a lot of people do this.
Yeah.
They simply create the permanent database, market to it, but they don't follow up. And one of the biggest complaints you hear about professional service individuals, not just in real estate, but just professional service individuals in general, they don't follow up.
Yep.
I get a newsletter from them, but they never seem to pay attention as if I'm anybody unique.
Okay.
Right, I get their newsletter, I get their mailer, I get a generic voice message, maybe from a telemarketer or something. But they're never addressing me. Well, that's because they're not working off of that professional is not working off of a white card.
Sure.
That professional is simply working off of a yellow card.
So it's really mass marketing. There's nothing personal about it.
Well, the
When you
yellow
have one
card represents mass marketing, yeah, that's what 33 Touch and all this really is it's about direct response mass marketing, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
It's taking a large database and
Okay.
and literally, like we teach in our classes, is like dating these people over time. But the thing is, it's not really personal. We have to attach to it as well the white card, which is the ongoing, what do I need to do now? So essentially, if you think about, we can probably wrap this up by saying that if you think about contact management or database management is, you should always be moving the car, the game is always moving the car forward, right?
Yeah.
It's always, and even if you sell them a property or whatever, or sell their property, you don't throw away the card, the white card. The white card says, now what do I do?
Yep.
You would be amazed. People even moving out of city or out of state, keep them. Write down their new address. Call them up every 6 months. How long would that take?
Yeah.
All right, any other questions?
Boy, I can't think of anything.
All right, good.
I really appreciate you taking the time to explain this to me.
You're welcome.
I
Good
heard you
luck.
were the master.
I was at, do you remember when John was in here a little bit ago talking about the inspection process? And then he goes, yeah, we just finished up Bold. Did you hear when talking about Bold? Okay, so Bold is Ignite on steroids. So you're going to be going to Ignite 3 times a week for 3 hours. You're going to be learning a lot of different things, how to do a listing appointment, how to take buyers out, how to negotiate, how to close a deal, all that kind of stuff. Ignite, Bold is meeting for 7 weeks in a row, at like a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, the whole day you're going to go to the Phoenix or Tempe. There's going to be other Keller Williams agents there from other KW offices, and you're going to be in teams, and you're going to be doing the stuff we're doing, but like times 10, times 20. But it's very, very powerful. It moves quickly, but you learn so much. You gain a lot of support from other agents, and everybody wants everybody to win. When you talk about the win-win, that's what Bold is. That's what Ignite is. So when I was at Bold, I actually attended Bold this past spring. And when I was there, David, who was our instructor, he's out of Tucson, he was saying he would allow us to come ask questions before each session started. So we started one Wednesday, and we'd come the next Wednesday for the whole day, and then the next Wednesday for the whole day. So before each class started, each Wednesday class started, he would let people come and just ask questions. And someone said something like, well, what if I don't know what CRM I want, or I don't feel like I keep good track of people and contacts. He said, I'm going to give you an idea, and you're going to think it's kind of weird and old, But Gary in the box is what I would do. And everybody's like, what's that? He goes, just you Google it on YouTube. That's how Gary developed his business. And yeah, it is kind of old. It's
I want to say stuff to make it modern, but whatever.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, we can make it modern, but the idea is don't wait, start something now. And the box, I actually brought a box just as an example, but this is probably too small, but I mean, it's one way to start the business. You could go and Matt can get you started on eEdge, and you can update all your contacts, and there's all these different things to do. But the idea that he presented to us was, you don't have to do it this way. You can pick the way you want to do it. The idea is to nurture it, to touch it. That's why you heard the 33 touch. If you there's a place you can learn what 33 touch is. There's an 8x8 campaign. There's a client appreciation campaign. There's all these different ways to keep your businesses, keep your relationships going with the people you know. And you can tell that through that system that it was something that lived, it moved, it grew, and he kept adding, and he kept learning about people, and he kept contact from where maybe they went to New York City or whatever. The idea is you just started something, you need to follow up with it. Oh my goodness. All the times I did not follow up and I've lost clients, oh my gosh, thousands and thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's true. If I had just had a better system, or if I had followed up. So that's kind of a little video, but the idea is to start something and keep track of it and don't let it go. Someone else will. If you don't do it, someone else will. Did you want to say something real quick about any technology stuff, or if they had ideas or questions?
It's pretty self-explanatory, but as soon as I watched it, you have the tools on your pocket. You got your cell phone, and that he's kept saying it's going to be in the future with the computer. Gary Keller, we got computers in our pocket. So if you write the client's name down, put it in your contacts. Also, go to your calendar, and in a month and a half or whatever days you feel appropriate, put them on that day of what you did and put a little bio in there. What's cool about stuff now is you can find contact apps, be able to write the conversations you had with them and add it to your calendar and things like that. And that's your way of having your own box in your pocket. So you got your own Gary Keller in a box just in your pocket. You don't even have to go onto a computer to do it anymore. And so it's amazing because that's such an amazing tool because your phone can alert you now and be like, hey, reminder, call this person. And you can just call that person and read that little conversation you had with them and be set to go. And you're going to be ahead of the game using a tactic that's like from 1979 or whatever you were saying.
Yeah, I think it was mine in the late 80s. So I don't know.
Yeah, so you're gonna do great. So it's cool.
I'm just gonna put this out there to you, Matt. What if you developed a class like Gary in the Box?
I thought about it. I have ideas now, but
okay.
It's good. It's good.
All right.
It's a good video.
If you had a class with technology that showed you what he just did in Gary in the Box, would you go to it? Yes.
All right. Well, cool. I'll develop one.
All right, develop one. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so let's see what else we talked about. Nurturing, 33 touch. Okay, so the next 25 minutes or so is going to be nothing but a bunch of details about what's going to be happening. The first part of what we did today, the majority of it, was kind of just breaking the ice a little bit, showing you that, you know what, these are the things we're going to be doing. You're going to be making more phone calls during Ignite. So I just kind of got your feet wet a little bit with it, okay? But it's something you're going to be doing every time you come in. Every night you come in. So this is, you're gonna keep track of your numbers, okay? And I'll show you where you go for this. It's called My Tracker. And there's a couple ways you can find it. Glasses, here they are. You're gonna keep track of some numbers for the next couple of weeks. Did I log in here yet? Is this mine here? Okay, maybe this is it. Okay, so have you logged into your computer yet? Have you logged into, I'm sorry, my KW? Go ahead.